Hi everyone, I'm back today with a video with some new Spellbinders products. I've got some products from the new Simon Hurley range, which is called Photosynthesis, and there's a lovely selection here of florals. I've got 3 different sets to play with. I've got ceramic vases and floral stems, which are die sets, and then I've got the must-have sentiments, which are for the Glimmer system. So you've got a Glimmer plate and then the outline dies to cut out your sentiments. There's a really nice font on these and a really nice selection of sentiments. So I'm going to do these on white card with some light blue foil. So I'm just popping the foil on top of my Glimmer plate and then setting the timer. And I've left this in the video actually, but this one didn't come out so well, so I had to do another one. I think I'd used white card for this that had a bit of a texture to it. So, but I like to leave mistakes in, well, not mistakes, but I like to show the whole process in my videos, because if I edit it and it's always perfect, you don't learn from my mistakes. So I am going to run these through and die cut them, but I don't know how well you can see on camera, but the foiling was just a little bit faint in places. I think because the cardstock was a little bit textured, it didn't quite stick to the cardstock quite so well. So I'm going to put those aside and do another one. And this time I'm going to use a smoother white cardstock, which you'll see will give me a much better result. While I'm waiting for that to heat up, let's talk about the Glimmer system in case this is new to you. Check back through my videos. A while back I did do a video on using the Glimmer plate, the Glimmer foil system with the Big Shot. So if I'm not going to dwell on how this all works and what you need to do in this video. If you're new to the system, pop back and watch that video and you'll see exactly how to use it. So while I've been talking, and because this is sped up, that's ready to go. So I'll run that through and then we can die cut those out. And this time I got a lovely perfect foiling. So I'm going to die cut those and then I can choose a sentiment to use on my cards. I did actually carry on. I turned my camera off, but I did actually do a load of foiling while I had this out. If I'm going to get my foil machine out and use it, I tend to then do a whole load so that I've got sentiments ready to go for anything. So for the card, I'm using a C6 size card and I'm going to use that tall vase. I love the fact that with these vases, the detail on them is a separate part of the die. So you can choose whether to do them plain or with the embossed detail. So I am using the embossed detail on this. It's just got a nice sort of, almost like a sort of dotted design. It's more like dashes. So I've done that from cream, and then I'm going to die cut some of the foliage from a nice light green, and then I'm going to use, you get a nice selection of florals in this set. You can see it's jam-packed full of different flowers, but I'm going to use the lily on this one. I thought that went quite well with this tall vase. It's kind of got an elegant look to it. I'm going to keep the colour scheme on this one really quite simple. I've got my foiling in blue, so I've die cut the lilies from a sort of pale aqua, and I've gone with a light green and cream, and that's going to be it for my colours. I'm not gonna, this is going to be quite a simple colour scheme. So the lilies have got 2 layers to them. You can see one is kind of a flat layer, a solid layer, and then you've got that outline. So you can choose whether to do those in the same colour or perhaps do the outline in a lighter or darker shade. So I've just got a small stencil brush and some pink ink, and I'm just on the bottom layer adding a little bit of pink ink into the centre of the flower, because lilies do quite often have that sort of shading in the centre. So I thought it's just going to give a little pop of colour, and particularly as I'm using both the top and bottom layer of this in the same colour, it's just going to highlight that there are 2 layers a bit more. So now I'm just working out the placement and if I need any more foliage and how this is going to sort of look. And I've decided I've got room for 2 flowers, so I'm just going to cut another flower, and I'm keeping the colours the same. I really want this card to have a very clean and simple look, so I'm doing both flowers in exactly the same colour so that it looks quite elegant, really, because the only colours I've got are cream, the blue, and then the green for the foliage, and then just that tiny pop of pink in the centre just to make the flowers really pop. So I'm just working out how I'm going to lay those all out before I start sticking anything down, because when you've got a tall vase like this, you have to work out the height before you do anything. So for the vase, what I'm going to do is use foam pads to stick it down so that I've got room to put the foliage. And I thought, as I've got this in cream, I thought it'd be quite nice to bring a bit more of the blue in. So what I'm doing is stenciling some ink just at the bottom and then lightening it so it's got a real ombre effect. It literally goes from quite dark blue at the very bottom and fades out into the cream. So I'm going to use some really small foam pads at the top so that I leave myself room to tuck in the stems, and I know that's going to go quite near the bottom. I've snipped a bit off the bottom of the stems as well. You get really lovely long stems with these so that they do fit in the tall vases, but obviously you're only going to see what's poking out the top, so to make your life easier, trim them a little bit so that you don't have to worry about sort of fitting around the foam pads, if that makes sense. And then I'm working out whether I need all the foliage I've cut. There is another one, but I decide this one just doesn't really go. I don't need it. So that's it. That's my card finished. So it's quite a quick and simple card, really. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll put details of all of the products in the description box below. And if you've got any questions at all about anything I've used or how I've done anything, please just leave a question in the comments and I'll come back to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.